Hello, hey everyone.
Yeah, I was like the founder, and then I was captain for a while, but then I kind of offloaded that responsibility to Brian. And we do like a yearly rotation for who's like captain, but I mean, that's just for like administrative stuff so we can actually get stuff going. Right? Like who has to do the recruitment stuff and track everything. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome, cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you have as many accolades as you really could you could ask for in the 40k scene. I don't think there's many competitive 40k players that don't know your name, David. So thank you very much for spending your time and coming on. It's great that we get to have you on whilst you're also in New Zealand, which is quite exciting as well.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. I should have put my Chiefs shirt on actually.
Yeah, oh, that would have been killer. Yeah. I'm a Chiefs supporter as well. I'm Rotorua. I'm based originally, so yeah, definitely my boys. But yeah, as always, we're just going to start with how are our last week. So Tate, we'll start with you. How's your last week in 40k been?
In 40k, it's been I don't know sparse. It's been a busy week. I've played two games, I think, but they've both been. I've continued my sort of what would you call it? Sort of like faction void of not knowing what to play. So I've been playing Hexwarp Thrallband, which is
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we have a RTT here on Sunday, and list sub. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute this Discord. List sub is on the Friday night, and I am ping ponging between like four different things. So if I can get my hands on a Fulgrim, I might play the new attachment, but we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's been busy in non 40k kind of stuff. What about you guys?
Yeah, I've been just the usual, like moving into a new house in 2 days. Like we bought it, the house is fully all settled and everything now, so very exciting. So you just boxes everywhere. I literally have natural lighting, which is the first time I think I've ever done it in this room. Usually there's always like lights and everything set up, but not today. So because it's already in boxes, so that's pretty fun. I had actually had since we're renting at the moment today, like the place is just full of boxes that we're living at the moment, and they had like like people coming to check the place to rent after we leave, and they're like, oh, like can you like put the boxes anywhere? And I was like, we're moving in 2 days. I was like, come on guys, like the real estate agent was like, oh, you guys got to really like make sure. And I was like, how? Like we literally have everything in boxes. But it was quite funny. My wife was working from home today as well, and she was just like, they asked her to like leave while they were doing it. She's working, so it was quite the ordeal.
They're so like not understanding, Like,
yeah.
Rental property owners, and it's insane.
Yeah, it was a very funny like situation, but 40k wise, I got one game on the weekend. Nothing super exciting. It was just a fun game. I had an hour and a half free, so I played Knights, Imperial Knights into Triple Norn, Crush the Stampede. So it was just a fun just kaiju battle. Just wanted to get a game in, but didn't have very much time, so just wanted to kind of throw the dust off and do that. But it was fun. It wasn't really any tactical thing. We kind of just ran at each other, but it was good fun.
It's good palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly. Having something for a bit of fun because I've just been strapped for time right now. So that's really cool. What about yourself, David? How have you been?
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing a reasonable amount. We've got we'll probably get to it later, but we've got the internal scrim going on for Team New Zealand at the moment. So all the applicants are playing. I'm currently mid in a game where I'm playing like Mechanized Assault. So I've been playing that, and then for my channel, I've been doing a bunch of games for the new guard, of course, and then I played like one game of Marines because we've got a team event this weekend on an applicant team as well. So yeah, a bunch of games, but I think I played all of my games in the Team New Zealand Discord as well. So I'll plug that. If you're not on the Discord, that's where a bunch of Team New Zealand plays. So well, a bunch of people in New Zealand play, and that houses the Team New Zealand part as well. But I was enjoying it. We got maybe the balance stage slate coming up, so I think my week will get busier as well.
Yeah, definitely. That should come out tonight, right? Like
Supposedly, yeah. Although I'm really disliking. That's the worst part about being in New Zealand. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
all the releases happen at like 2 a.m. for me.
Yep.
So I just wake up to my WhatsApp team chat with like 80 messages, and I'm like, I couldn't have been a part of any of this.
Yeah,
It's
welcome
bullshit.
to my life.
Yeah.
Like waiting up to like 11 midnight to say, okay, start out, cool, go to bed, wake up, and then it dropped at 1. I was like, no, what was
Yeah,
this?
I had the new EC detachment dropped at what was like 2:30 in the morning for me last night, and I sent Dan a message thinking he'd be asleep, and woke him up at like 4 in the morning for you guys. So
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good. But yeah, no, that's the New Zealand life. Is you're ahead in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, it's very cool. Oh well, very cool. So shall we get into some questions? So these questions aren't going to be specifically about David. They're going to be more about David as captain of Team New Zealand and then Team New Zealand as a whole. So start off. One, congratulations on being made captain, David. What are your your goals off the bat for Team New Zealand this coming year?
The goals off the bat, to get a team across,
course,
is
yep.
the first one, and I think that's like everyone's priority, of course, because like we're the furthest traveling country, so it's obviously like really difficult. And New Zealand has that leave structure where you don't like Europe. In Europe, you get your leave allocated at the beginning of the year, so you get the whole lot. Whereas New Zealand, like you kind of earn it as you work, I guess, right? So it's really easy to book off your leave in Europe as well. But so like getting a team across is the next one, and I think I'm really keen on bringing a lot of players that haven't played previously.
Awesome.
I mean, that's something I'm really keen about. And luckily, we have 20 applicants. I think only one of those players is someone who played in the previous years. So, as a personal thing, I'm like super excited to grow the community and hopefully grow the team wider than like the 8 people that maybe played last year and the year before, like the same cohort there. And and really bring up the squad. I think is really cool. So that's the part I'm most excited about.
Awesome.
And that's usually the goal is obviously to do better every year, but that's what I'm really excited about. Seeing like other players like really grow and stuff. Yeah.
Definitely, and that WTC Discord that you got set up for Team New Zealand or Team New Zealand and the community around is such a great like utility, and I think we can't shout it loud enough from here. Is like if you are interested in competitive 40k and specifically WTC style stuff, not even playing, but just getting better at WTC style things in New Zealand, just jump on that Discord. Like there's a lot of great players, like all the best players in New Zealand are on that Discord, so you can go in there, watch some games. Like I've already been like when I've been like doing admin and like signing stuff for the house, I've been just like having the screen up on the side with games going. Like it's really nice, right? Like so it's a great resource. I think so you definitely want to use it.
I think it's really interesting, like me being someone who primarily obviously lives in London. If you didn't know, I lived in London for like the last 5.5 years. But like having an outsider's perspective on some things is quite good, I think. And that was one of the first things I did. Like I know, Chris, you were obviously involved in the captain. You were applying for captain as well. And you would have had you were in the committee Discord, I think, as well, right? And there was a period there after I got selected where I just said like, oh, where's the main place where people talk about? And there was nothing. And I was like, well, that's not how we do it over here. So in like Europe. So I was like, the first place we need is a place where everyone can actually be together. Because as a captain, how do you talk to the community if you don't have that? But it's a really good thing for building the community going forward, I think. And like it was quite regional and a bit tribal beforehand. And like it's really good if you can bring everyone together cohesively, I think. And like the guy that I'm playing, John at the moment, he said like, yeah, it's already been really good because like Christchurch had its own bubble or Auckland had its own bubble and stuff like that. And getting the players together more, I think, is good. And it's never a bad thing, right? And you can watch games and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good fun.
Yeah. I think the reps is the big one, right? Like if you're not really in Auckland, or if you're not in like sort of vets or that sort of like Christchurch, that core Christchurch group, is really hard to get consistent or good reps. I think that's that's the biggest one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Moving to Dunedin, my biggest thing was like, oh cool, I'm gonna have to get really good at TTS because I'm not going to be getting competitive games otherwise. I went down to the local club here, and like really really fun, but it's very much, it's not like set up tables. It's it's the old school kind of terrain and stuff like that, which is just it's difficult, right? Like, and they make do as best they can, but it's like I love the structure, like WTC, GW, whatever format, but as long as you have something structured to kind of play off is really really important.
But, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent while we're talking about like communities and stuff, but I'll tell you what, the difference from when I tried to get the team together for the very first WTC and now is like night and day in New Zealand. Like, I'm not even joking. Like over the last 4 years, like 3 years, like New Zealand has been massively improving, man. Like every single event is like WTC terrain. Like everyone knows things. Like the team events are getting bigger. The events are more frequent. Like the quality of play is like dramatically increased, I think. So New Zealanders, like obviously we're the bottom of the world in some regards, or the top depending on your perspective. But like the hustle to get like all the terrain and stuff done. Like I know like tons of people have come together, like MDF cutting terrain and stuff, and like 3D printing models for everyone and everything. And like there's been a couple of people like the Chile tournament this weekend. I know they're running like 5 events next year or something.
Yeah.
So like that's just like so awesome, man. It's so cool to see, and like that is like the grassroots, which I thought I knew was going to happen after the first WTC, because I was like, okay, wait till everyone comes back from the WTC and they're going to be so hyped to like go return next year and stuff. So it's just so awesome to see like that like really improve in New Zealand. And I've been really surprised by the increase in player skill, I think, for sure, over the last 3 years. It's
been amazing. And we have to thank the event organizers that have been putting on, like, you got the Tactical Chili War Game, and you got your Kraken, you got Properly Cocked, and everyone else that I've missed as well. Like, thank you guys all so much for, like, if you didn't put on the events, we wouldn't have this like explosion of games. And like I love competitive 40k. I'm pretty sure everyone on this podcast probably loves competitive 40k. So it's like, the only way we can do it is if we have the events to compete at, right? So like definitely massive reps to all the event organizers, because a lot of them, it's a pretty thankless job. There's a lot of work that goes into it.
Setting up terrain at 11:30 at night. Sad. Yeah.
I remember. I flew up to one of the Chile events, and Peter had like printed me a bunch of orcs for it. It was when Tactical Brigade orcs was really good, and I had no Breaker Boys, no Tankbuster Boys. And he's like, I'll paint you. I'll print and paint all of them for you. He had printed them all by Friday night, so I fly in at like 9 p.m. He's like, oh, you just got to paint this before tomorrow morning. So I had to paint 36 models that night. I was like, thanks, bro. It's just like, but like, like, just the hustle that that the boys have. It's good fun.
Yeah. But he's always like, every event he's up till like 4 a.m. the night before getting stuff done. Like every single, even if it's not his event, like he's doing terrain for someone or lending models or something. So
One great thing that Tactical Chili do as well at their events is you'll remember these from WTC, David, where they had the lanyards with like the rounds and stuff on them. They do that for all their events as well. So like you have no excuse for like missing a round or like what mission you're on for the rounds. It's a really nice quality of life thing.
I've still got, and I still use my Team New Zealand box.
Nice.
It's got like the dice roller and then compacts into something else I can put my stuff in. It's really well designed actually. So shout out to Peter, does that as well. So there's like a bunch of like, if you guys don't know, maybe you're an international listener, there's a bunch of people like in New Zealand that do a ton of work that don't necessarily go to WTC, and like those are the TOs and stuff like that that really made a huge difference. So yeah, there's a really big growing community in New Zealand, and things are going in a really positive trajectory overall, which is really, I mean, it's awesome to see coming back from, because I haven't been here for 4 years. So coming back to see is really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the selection process. So you've obviously got 20 applicants, you said. What is kind of the thought process on like, how are you selecting them? Is there a hierarchy of who you want to get first? Is there certain roles you want to fill first?
Rank them all.
Rank. I want the ranks named. Rank from first to 20th.
Who's first on the chopping block? No.
Yeah. Interesting. So, actually, can I bring up something? Can I cheat a little bit? Because I know that I've done. Like, I actually wrote a message before, and can I don't know if it's in my applicants general chat. Sorry, I'm about doing this like live on stream, but
you're fine. That's not the worst thing.
I've just written something previously. Yeah. I just written something previously that I wanted to like. Okay, so I might not find it in time, but anyway, I wrote something when we had all the applicants in. Discussing like what I wanted to see and what I valued as a captain, because the selection process is really, really hard to do right, and I don't think any like one team has really nailed it. And like I think the feedback probably every WTC team has every year is like, the selection process could improve by XYZ, right? Like there's no model that fits everything. So I thought the most important thing was like transparency, and that was like what I value in players. So if you're on the, Chris, maybe you're on the Discord and you're on the other one, you would have known that like I'm super upfront, and I try to be like really welcoming when people are like, oh, can I borrow your time for this and that? And I try to be as helpful as possible and like transparent as possible so that people know, like, if I didn't get selected, it was because of XYZ, right? Or, this is what David's looking for, right? So I think the first couple of things were the most important thing I said in my message was like player skill is not the most important thing that I value as a captain, and I think I said that was probably like the fourth or fifth thing I would consider important, and the first most important thing is like coachability, and that's because typically like in New Zealand we're going to do the selection process quite a bit out from WTC, right? So the 8 players that you select, you really have to make sure are going to be fit for working well together for like multiple months on end, right? And if you find you get players that aren't cooperating well, or they're like taking the foot off the gas because they got selected, that's actually going to be worse for you in the long run, right? So there's about 30 pitfalls you can run into as the captain selecting a team. And so the first thing I like is coachability, and then like cooperation between players. And by that, I have in the Team New Zealand Discord, we have in the New Zealand Discord, we have the Team New Zealand section, and in the Team New Zealand section, the past captains are also a part of that section, so they can kind of see the process and stuff, and I try to keep them involved, like Finn, for example.
Awesome.
And we have a games report channel, and the first I said when I got all the applicants, and I said, okay, this is the games report channel. I gave them a template to fill it out, and I fill out my own games in there, and I said, this is not the place to ego boost, 20-0ing players that made massive play mistakes. Like, I'm not interested in that at all.
Yep.
And if you write stuff like that, I'm going to take that as how you discuss Warhammer 40k, right? So one of the things we have in like that's structured in terms of like, what was your game result? Did your opponent play the correct macro strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I 20-0'd him, and then someone goes, yeah, they kind of played correctly. I'm like, well, that's a good example of like maybe a bit of a red flag, right? So there's lots of, so I try and have like, I try and reduce the ego as much as possible. Like when I'm playing in the team applicants, I'm not playing like the most broken stuff. I'm not playing like the hardest hitting lists and trying to like stomp people. Like I'm genuinely just trying to get players to improve as much as possible and have like really good discussion. And I think that's the best way to help everyone improve, because the team is like so much bigger than one person. So I just want to see people improve. So long story short, the things that I value in the players is the ability to improve. I think that's the most important part, because, we had a guy called Charles, I think, on the very first year we played. And man, this guy, I think he'd played one GT. Yep. This guy had played one GT before coming to WTC. He was like, you know what, man? I'll go to WTC across the world and play. And I was like, wow, this guy's going to be terrible. He was playing Custodians as well, right? And this is when, you had Wraith Knights and GSC and stuff like that. And I worked with him over the 6-7 days that we were there. And by the end of like the last like half day and the end of the last day, he was like razored in, man. He would come to me like, David, here's what I'm thinking on the plan. Like he's going to move this thing here. I'm going to like survive here. Because he was getting like 3-4 points a game, right? Like, and that's all we kind of wanted. And I was like, cool, man. Yeah, just make sure you think about this and everything. And like that level of engagement is really, really awesome to see. Like people just going like, how can I soak in and get better as much as possible? And if you've got the ability to improve, then you can go a long way. As long as your player skill is the point where you're not making massive mistakes, right? You can't have people that are like don't fundamentally understand the game at a competitive level, of course, but you can always help people improve. And a lot of people are like they're just missing one piece, right? They're usually playing and playing and playing, but they're just missing like a couple of key things that really help them get to the next level. So that's kind of what I want. So yeah, improvability, coachability, no dickheads, of course, if I can say that.
The dream.
Top sportsmanship.
It's encouraged.
Yeah, is like a bare minimum, right? And the ability to work together is, because it's all good David Gaylard like imparting information on everyone, but I really want all the people to work together and impart their information, help each other, because that's the way you're really going to get a good community. And that's going to help like next year, right? People are going to be like, you know what? This was a really good formula. We're going to try and replicate this for next year or something. So yeah, long-winded question, but yeah, that's kind of what I value as a team applicant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think you've got some. Oh, you go.
No. You go, my king.
My throwaway glazing the applicants, glazing my boys. I think you got some really good people in there for like even over the last few years have improved massively. So I think in terms of those criteria, there's some great applicants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think the pool of players you have is a really good bunch of people as well. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see like who slots into like what kind of roles and stuff like that. It's gonna be really cool and like really interesting to see that kind of develop. And like our goal on Skill Issue will be definitely to like as applicants get picked. I don't know if you're going to do it all at once or if you are kind of picking like certain people at a time. We'll get them on the podcast and we'll kind of talk, and hopefully you'll be 3-4 months later down the track. We can jump back on. We can kind of talk about the how the teams going and stuff like that. But that's really really cool. That really makes me quite excited for Team New Zealand going forward. Like it's a group of good individuals that want to work together for like a unified goal, which is all you can really ask for, especially when you're paying $4,000-5,000 each person to go over, right? Like
for sure. Like these people are making huge dedications like to go across and play, which is why like I feel like not to toot my own horn too much, is like if I can help these people, like if them wanting to apply was to maybe be on a team with me to come play, and that would how they would really improve a lot at 40k. If that was a part of the decision why they applied, like I think that's probably some part of the decision. Like there's a real monetary value behind that as well, right? So like I find it my responsibility also to be like, how can I help these people improve as much as possible? Like obviously when we had Team New Zealand 2 years ago, like I was up like late nights all the time, doing peering simulations. Like at the table, I was giving it like 120%, like for like 4 days straight. I never finished my games like in an hour. I was. I was, I like live and die for the team, and I try and put myself I try and put the team ahead of myself at times, which is what everyone on the teams has always done, which is really cool.
Yeah. But it's great being able to be that figurehead, like, hey, this is what I've done in the past, follow this, and this is what I want. What do you want to push forward for this year, like for this coming year, and then for years, past that as well, right? Like it's this foundational work that Nari and Finn have kind of put into this team that you can carry forward and grow as well, right? Like it's this. It's a really great thing that you can do. Cool. So do you have is there going to be any structured times for when you are going to have selections done, or is it just going to be kind of an organic process?
So to be honest with you, I haven't locked that in 100%, and I really need to. I think I might have messaged once. It's going to be like in February probably. Okay. So I'm going to be in New Zealand until late January. So I've got an awesome opportunity to be here for 9 weeks, which is why I'm playing all the time. I've got literally 3 events on. Like I'm hopefully going to be flying somewhere to play as well.
Awesome.
And because obviously being abroad and all the new applicants, I haven't physically met a lot of these people. But that's kind of the same with me every year, actually. Like it's a bunch of people I've never met before. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna maybe select like 1 to 2 people initially, and then I'll probably get their opinions on what they think should be the next selections. And I think with Waima, I've always tried to like get the opinions of a lot of people and then just formulate my own opinion as well. I don't want to have it like the previous years where everyone gets a vote necessarily, because I think whilst that is good, I think having things a little bit too democratic can be really stagnant a lot of the times. And actually just having someone be like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're playing, is kind of good to get stuff moving. So yeah, I think like mid-February or something like that, I think the majority of players will know. And I think we'll obviously have the returning coach Gabby from France, who is like, the memorialized Team New Zealand player as well, I think.
Gabby is an absolute hero, and definitely a verified New Zealander now, definitely not a French person, but also not going to complain about having a French player to hopefully give us all their secrets.
I think to be honest with you, I think he has a blast. That's why he comes back every year. And he likes hanging out with the boys, which is why he he always comes and has a laugh and stuff like that. I remember him and Charlie a lot of late nights like in Mechelen, like drinking and stuff like that, which was good fun.
The year that I went over with you guys, you're meeting Gabby, and it was like, because obviously it was like the year after he was first there, and instantly slotted in as one of the gang. Like he was just so great. Like it was absolutely amazing. Like it was very, very cool. So is he going to be like the pseudo 4th coach? Is that kind of the plan? Still having Gabby as the 4th, or is it just going to see how you kind of slot things out?
Yeah, I don't know if the coaching slots are that competitive. This with the applicant pool, I think most players applied to be playing players. I think we have 1 or 2 coaches. I think so. It'll just depend on whether or not that player goes in as a coach. I think. So. Yeah, it'll be an interesting fit. I think we'll probably have to, one of the lessons of WTC is always like, make sure stuff like practical stuff like dinner is at a set location. That's one thing I'm really keen on is like, as Jonathan Slay Johnson from Team Sweden with Team Ignite always says, like, you have line of sight on 2 people at every time. So when we're moving, we're going. Like, okay, after the round is done, first things, everyone pack your stuff up. We're going. Like, you can chat with people at Bar Popular, later at night, right?
Yeah.
Get the stuff, go to the hotel room, decompress. So I'm quite, headstrong on stuff like that. So I'm, hoping that the coach can help with getting stuff like that done and dinner and stuff like that. But me, for me, I don't really get any sleep with WTC. Yeah. I actually woke up the last WTC I played in my bed in London and still thought I was literally in Mechelen. It was like I was in like a psychosis. Yeah. So
yeah, WTC kind of does it to you though. Like it's just one of those things. Like you're so immersed, right? Like it's all it's kind of everything. It's your entire world for that 1 week. Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you live, breathe, eat, and and go to the toilet 40k.
Yeah,
100%. Which is cool because everyone at WTC is amazing people as well. So
yeah, it's the biggest place you can have the most people doing have the exact same goal, right? Like it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Tate, did you have some questions? I think Dan sent you a couple of questions to ask David.
Kind of covering all my questions as you go. Sorry, I'm shattered. I'm very happily taking the backseat. I think the couple of things that popped to mind from what we've already discussed was coaching. Do you have a different? Because I was looking at Eric Lewis' breakdown for requirements for being on Team Australia, and he has quite a good breakdown of what he's for players and then for coaches. Do you have separate? I know you said you only have a couple of people applying, but
for coaches, not really. I mean, because I can obviously help out coaching the coaches on how to do it, and we have a really structured way of doing that. But in terms of player requirements, I guess you could say, I actually on the applicant thing. My application thing was quite short because at the top of the application thing I said, I don't need your life story here because hopefully I'm going to meet you in person. That's my goal, is to meet you and actually get to know you, right? So I don't want to do that through an online form. I just asked, do you currently use TTS? If not, that's fine. Just put an option, no, but I want to learn, right? So I would, just help people get on TTS. I think that's a big important one. I don't really think that as a modern team you can function without playing on TTS. Yeah. Obviously, me as the captain going to be based in London a bunch of the time. That's going to be a point there as well. So the application was pretty open, and I just really more so took it upon myself to get to know people, right, and formulate my own opinions, because people can self-grandize on a form, right, and it's okay, I'm sure we could all say how wonderful and excellent we are as players, right, but I would rather just I came into it I would rather just formulate my opinions of everyone rather than have I've had people tell me oh, by the way, these are really good players, these are the really good ones on the team, and while that's useful, I tend to just put it to the side and just draw my own conclusions about people, because sometimes people can get a hard shake, right? So everyone gets judged by me. They don't get judged by anyone else. And if they make the same mistakes from game to game, I'll mention that to them and stuff like that after the games. I'm playing a game with every single applicant, of course, multiple games probably, and I want to see them improve. We have this internal scrim. I'm in both scrim channels. I talked with both of the captains. I was working with them. Hey, do you need help with pairings? And what I've actually done is I've through each internal scrim, I'm making people who are not captain actually be captain and have to do the pairings. But I'm actually providing them with the learning resources, right? I'll be oh, if they reach out, hey, I'm really struggling with this stuff. I'll jump in a call with them, walk them through everything. Yeah. Because you can't just have me being the font of knowledge on everything, right? I would rather have the whole team be yeah, I'm kind of familiar with pairings now. I can understand why this is a bad pick in an 8v8, and I'm cool, that's exactly what we want to see. So it's about it's about trying to grow everyone as much as possible at the same time. And that's why the application process is pretty open-ended. And I let people just take the reins as they will. And if people, don't step up and they're not engaging, then I think that's probably how they would act as a part of the team. And so it just gives everyone an equal opportunity, I think, in some regards as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you are responsible for the flood of people asking me to show them TTS. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah.
Which is a good thing, by the way. TTS is great.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It is. Yeah.
Cool.
No, I did have another question from Dan, actually, which I've just realized is somewhat relevant, because you said you only had 20 people apply, and I feel like I know most people, but I did have someone email through a question about, I know on Fire you sort of invited NZ expats and stuff to apply for the team and that kind of thing. Did you have any NZ expats apply? And if so, like, how are you balancing the kind of getting to know them and assess all that? I suppose it would be the same TTS, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so we actually, so oddly enough, so I think it's really odd. We actually didn't have any New Zealand expats apply. So I thought that was actually quite strange because I thought, you know, as a part of, obviously every year, I mean, kid, so I couldn't, but every year I'm going to come and play, right? So I'm kind of our flag post in Europe, so to speak. And I thought, you know what? Well, if we have these Kiwis scattered across Europe and UK that can play, then I can like organize our side of the Europe and we could meet up and everything like that, right? But you know, surprisingly, we didn't have anyone, and a bit disappointing because I would hope that I think if anyone would listen, you know, knowing that I was playing and I was captain, you know, where you're located isn't necessarily the most important thing, right? And so, yeah, we've got one guy based in London, just outside of London, Alex Cameron, who's moved over recently.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah, we both know him. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. So, so we actually we didn't play against each other, but he moved over and then he played the Coventry 3-dayer, like not the best list for the terrain format and stuff like that. You know, went whatever. But he ended up playing my Ignite teammate, Tao, and kind of smashed him. And my Ignite teammate was like, you know, he's a lovely guy and stuff like that. So, you know, Alex is going to be based over there with me. And so, you know, he'll get a bit of a bum opportunity for the next 2 months, but, you know, we'll be close to each other afterwards. So, yeah, we've got one player from abroad who's Alex, and he's playing like a lot of ATC tournaments like that too, and seems like a really lovely guy as well. So, yeah, a little bit surprising that we didn't have more expats, but, you know, it's maybe next year we just got to keep shouting a bit louder and a bit louder. So if you have any New Zealand ancestry to some degree, then you can probably apply or just get in touch, you know, leave a comment in the YouTube or something like that.
Yeah,
and sort you out for next year. Or you can still apply to be a coach, to be fair, I think. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think...
There's a heap of... Oh, sorry, you go.
No, you go on.
Oh, I was just saying, there's a heap, I almost like encourage them to apply, but there's a heap of Kiwis over here which are pretty good. But then I just never got around to it, so...
Yeah. But it's just getting the knowledge
that's your fault.
Yeah.
We're a small community. We all need to, you know, all need to build ourselves up.
Yeah, there is New Zealanders literally everywhere. I remember I was living in the UK for a few years pre-COVID, and I remember I went to like Greece for a weekend trip, and like I found one person that I used to work with that in Rotorua, and I was like, what the hell? There's just Kiwis like everywhere. They're just literally everywhere. So you just like we just gotta like get all the 40k players that are all around the world, and like you know, it's definitely is like
greatest export.
Yeah.
I think one thing I'll touch on is like obviously like, you know, I'm going to be based in New Zealand for the latter half of the like the WTC lead up, right? And I think that was like, so if you guys don't know, there's always been this like contention, I think, with the WTC captaincy, because like I applied like previous years, I've applied every year apart from the last one, and like there was always this contention around who was going, well, whether or not someone based in New Zealand, someone could captain the team that's not based in New Zealand, right? And so I think just as a point of interest, like it's going to be really interesting to see, because I'm not really sure if there are any other teams that have a captain that's based literally on the other side of the world. So I think, you know, it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, it's a lot of pressure on me to put things up, but that's why I'm trying to build up people as much as possible, so that like if I'm not necessarily there holding their hands, like they can come to like really good list design decisions, because obviously we're going to be playing a new edition as well. So, you know, it'll be like new edition, and everyone's going to have to be like brewing up their own ideas. And I know in my kind of captaincy application, I was talking a lot about collaboration with other kind of nations, but a lot of that is also because when I was working in the first and second year, New Zealand was like very isolated in their understanding of the game, and a lot less mature. Yeah, we were pretty far behind, right? Like I was like downloading all the information from Europe straight into the team. But like, you know, the skill has like dramatically increased so much that I'm actually feeling a bit more confident maybe not having a collaboration. And particularly because we're going to be going into a new edition, I think that there's a little bit more opportunity for that. So, you know, there is a kind of fairy tale element to not collaborating, cooking up some awesome lists, new edition, 7 new players. Like, there's that element to it, which I think would just be like a dreams, you know,
Yeah, that'd be very cool. That would be the dream. Like that would be so excellent. Like just watching us cook everyone would be absolutely killer.
So I mean, I did reach out to Eric from Team Australia because I thought, time zone wise that might have been well, but they are kind of the same opinion as well. They've always been like a collaboration team as well, and so they're sticking with that model, and I think they're really excited to like cook up on their own as well. So that kind of got me thinking, maybe we're at that level now where we can improve ourselves as well. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm still kind of undecided what will happen because on Team Ignite we've got 1, 2, like 4 WTC captains I think this year, maybe 5 or something. So like there's always that element of like me having Team New Zealand maybe collaborating with another team as well.
Right.
So,
yeah. What a crazy team that is, by the way. Like props to you for creating it. Like absolutely amazing. But that team is just killer after killer after killer. Like it is mad.
Yeah. People are like, who do you practice most against? I'm like, well, like Liam VSL, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy plays like so many games as well, right?
Yeah. So, no, it's very cool. It's a crazy team, like crazy cool team. And like, and I'm sure that they're all like the same motto that you have for the Team New Zealand, right? So they're all great people that want to work together, want to play together. And they just happen to be some of the greatest players in the world.
Yeah, that was like our motto for Team Ignite, and like there's so many things I've like Team Ignite where like usually I would captain all the team tournaments, but the last one I didn't, and ETC I didn't as well, and like there's so many learnings I've had like through Team Ignite that I've been like, oh, this works really well, or like like player balancing and stuff like that, or just like trying to, because in Ignite we've got like the literally best players in the world to like players that we recruited and were like we saw a lot of potential in there. So there's a lot of things that I've like looked for in players that I looked for when we were building Ignite out and stuff like that, and have like helped seeing them improve and stuff. And as I was a captain like back then, try and like bring players up in the right way. And we have like the utmost sporting criteria as well. Like we have like absolutely zero issues, and that's like the way that we like to play Warhammer. And through Team Ignite, I think we've made a good positive impact on the community. But the be all end all is that through Ignite, try and push a lot of the learnings there. And like for example, the democracy one, like a really good learning there. Like if a team gets too democratic, I think it's really hard to get anything done. So like that's why we moved Ignite to like have an official captain where we could actually just action a lot of stuff that just needed to get done, right? Like, okay, plane tickets, like are we going to play this tournament? Like who's organizing shirts or whatever, entry fees and stuff. So it's better if you can just have one player like be responsible for it and just like do it, because it's better to do something 80% right than just to like leave it too late and maybe not get anywhere.
Or just not do it at all, right? Like you end up just not getting things done, right? Like
yeah, exactly, right. Like it's a classic workplace problem as well at the end of the day.
yeah. So I thought that was your job. yeah. No, very cool.
Like
awesome.
Yeah, so I think we've got. Oh, by the way, if I can talk about it, we've got 3 events as well. If you're a New Zealand listener as well, we have the Chile team event coming up, and then we have a new event. I've been working with Raymond in Games Lab in Auckland. I think that's the 10th, of January. So like, go ahead and buy your ticket. It's WTC singles. Of course, I'll be there. We're trying to get the applicants there as well. And then we've also got Lakes of Blood as well with a singles event. So if you're a local player, if you just want to come play an event and say hi, have a then come play the events. They're going to be really well run. They should be a really good time, and maybe give you like an insight to if you're thinking about applying for a Team New Zealand later on, like what the applicant's skill level is, like, and how they perform and stuff like that. And kind of the culture that's around Team New Zealand, because I think there's also some degree of like people think it's a bit of a club sort of thing, and I that's like not the case at all. Like if you're just Joe Blogs and you think you're pretty good at Warhammer, then like throw your name in and we can have a game as well, right? So yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I will not hold you up any longer. Thank you very much, David, for coming. I really, really appreciate your time here. We're going to do a little bit of a dive into the lists for this weekend, because we also do like the event reviews. And you're more than welcome to stay along if you want, but I understand that you do have a scrim game that you cut short just to be here, so I appreciate you for doing that. And sorry, John, but I appreciate you you for doing that. But we will review your list. Is there anything you want to talk about your list for this coming weekend before you go?
My list is exactly what the subtitle is. I flew 12,000 miles to proxy 18 Victrix Honor Guard, and I'm never going to play 18 Victrix Honor Guard again because I hate that stuff. But Yeah, I've got to get back to playing John so I can hope 8 versus his admix. So yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah. Have an absolutely great time. And yeah, thanks very much again for coming. I really appreciate it.
Also appreciate
Awesome.
it. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.
Ooh, and
Damn, missed your opportunity for the Vitrix comment. It's fine, I missed mine too.
Doink. Put on this one. Ugh, one more moment. Sorry, team. Just need to get Tate's face back on this. We can't be without Tate's face.
You've been without my face this whole time. I didn't realize. It's horrible.
No, just for right now. It's been without my face, to be fair.
Viewers have been suffering.
Yes. Suffering? I don't know about that. Just tweak that a little bit. There we go. Look at this. Movie magic. Cool. Still listen to me? Can still hear you. Beautiful. Look at us, professionals.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, no, very, very cool having David on. That was really fun. We will go over the lists and everything now. But yeah, like that was really interesting. I really liked the whole like his thought process for like selecting team and stuff like that, and like holding it out a little bit, but obviously having understanding that there is a time frame like what people need to know because they need to start saving. So I really appreciated that kind of wanting to hold out for as long as you can. Like some of the European teams wait until like 2 months out or a month out before, like it's like 3 weeks out from list lock is when they pick players, right? Like to keep the people hungry. Can't do that here, but like you can get kind of close.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking has always been that what you should do is you should lock in who's traveling, but not who's a player and who's a coach, and then you can lock that in closer to list lock.
Yep.
Sorry, I've just broken 1,000 Suns model, so I'm slightly distracted.
It's so spindly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for the most part, yeah, like try and keep them hungry to a degree, but like there's a part where you keep them hungry, but like if people don't want to go as a coach and only want to go as a player, and and then they don't end up going, they could have a real big feels bad if they've
It is like you need like 10 to 12 people that are happy to do either, but yeah.
Which I don't really understand. Like, I obviously went over as a coach last time, and you're just as much as part of the team. And like, it was real fun. Like Charlie and myself and Benny, like we had like the funnest time. Like one that's stressful, you're just as stressed during the rounds as they are. And then, but you also have like this chill time. Like that's how I became friends with Ollie, who's a big friend of the show for me and just a good friend of mine now as well. Like he was one of the Team Australia coaches. Is like, after both rounds had paired, would walk up to each other in the middle of like, so how much did you guys fuck up pairing? So it was just this like fun thing, and then would like go up to each other. It was just ended up being real fun, and you have a different experience, but it's not a worse experience. Just because you're not playing doesn't mean you're not part of the team or anything like that. So if you are ever thinking about playing as a coach, it really is fun and it's really worthwhile, and you still learn so much.
Yeah, you'll level up a heap. Like Chris was trash before he went to WTC.
Something like that, yeah. 2 years ago, I was definitely a lot worse than I am now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the comments,
that's good.
Comments about people improving were quite interesting. I thought actually as well, because like, am I doing my thing?
Yeah, stuttering a little bit. Yeah.
Hello, am I still cutting up?
You're right now.
Yeah, excellent. I was just saying the comments about David kind of coming back after being away for a while and the skill level being much higher is quite interesting to hear, because like I feel like I have developed, like I started playing 40k right at sort of what I think would be the beginning of that progress. So I've sort of like lived through it. So it's like less of a jump. It's more just been the sort of slow.
Yeah, as you've progressed, everyone else has progressed around you, which is kind of like, which is cool, like really cool. Like, yeah, you weren't like me and started in the trenches, or like Charlie and started 20 years ago or something.
Yeah. Pardo started in the bowels of Games Workshop cooking up Rogue Trader.
Yeah, playing first edition. Yep. Somehow still played Space Wolves as well.
Yes. Oh, don't talk to me about Part of Space Wolf.
Well, shall we go and have a look through some of these lists then for this weekend?
Yes.
Oh, and as a quick side note, we are going to try and get Matt, who won the Properly Cocked Fight Before Christmas. He won that with Banish's Grey Knight. So we're going to try and get him on, and then one of the players from the winning team from Immortal Chili's this weekend is like a double feature next week, hopefully. So we're not trying to slag off Matt for two times. He's won 2 events in a row now, and we haven't got him on for either. So we're going to try and get him on, but it obviously just has to work with schedules and everything, especially if we're trying to line up 2 people. But that is going to be the goal.
That's it.
So we probably want to be on for too long. So do you want to go through a couple of the different team comps or a couple of the interesting teams, or what are you feeling like, Tate?
I think, well, let's go through. I actually have not looked at this at all, but I assume there'll be a Chile team, there'll be Benchwarmers, or there'll be the Dan Hayden Benchwarmers North.
Yeah, it's Peacocking his heresy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's the Planeteers reference? This is horrible. And then there'll be the David team and then a Kraken team. So we can pick one list from each of those. I don't know. How do you want to?
Sounds good. Okay, let's start with David's team, since we had him on the just on. So we have conveniently, so it's team captain is Matthew Plumpton. And then we have the team is David Gaylard on Space Marines Ultramarines Gladius with 20 Victrix Guard. We have Francis McLaughlin on Chaos Knights. Kenji Cassiera on Adeptus Custodes, which is Lions. We have Marcel Van Nykirk on Eldari, and then Matthew Plumpton himself on Warhorde Orcs.
Himself.
Yeah.
Who do we... What... Yeah, 18 Victrix is boring. What is interesting? None of those are particularly interesting in that they're, like, weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup. Like, I was trying to think, like, what would be the pairing strategy for an army like this, and I think it's really just, like, Chaos Knights want board pick, and then everything else is pretty agnostic for the most part.
Which I think for 5s is actually kind of good, right?
Yeah.
Like, that seems solid. Yeah. Maybe the Orcs want board pick as well. Like, on WTC, it's less of a thing. But like,
if you can get a good staging for Gaz, it's real good.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we know all about that, don't we, Chris? I'm still mad. No.
Just be better.
Right. Shall we look at the Orcs list? That's probably, to my mind, I assume the Knights is just triple Gatling to spoil it.
Go into Plumptons. Let's do it. Get Plump.
The big man.
Sweet. So we got list name, Curse of Sadistic Ape, and then there's a YouTube thing. I'm not risking that. So I appreciate the YouTube video, but I'm not going to risk it on this. But we got Orcs Warhorde with Big Mech with Follow Me Lads, Boss Necrot, Gaz, and 2 War Bosses. 20 boys, 2 battle wagons with big shooters on the sides. I don't put the big shooters on because, one, it's just rolling dice that you don't need to, and you'll never do any damage with them. And they also add like 2 inches to the size of your battle wagon if you actually model them correctly. Because the guns like are mounted like off the sides, so they're actually like really long. So it adds like an inch off either side. So modeling for advantage definitely if he doesn't have those dangling off the sides because they're a pain.
Especially on battle wagon on WTC terrain. I don't know about. I do not know about that.
Yeah, I can understand 1. Like I've played with the 1 before. It's fine. It's a great like utility piece. 2 is definitely a lot. But so we got the double battle wagons. We got 2 units of Breaker Boys. We have 2 units of 5 Flash Gits. 3 units of Gretchen. I love that. A unit of Commandos. 2 units of 5 Knobs and a unit of Storm Boys. So the War Bosses will most likely go with the Knobs unless there's like an absolute slew of 3 wound bodies, and then they'll go with the Breaker Boys. Breaker Boys are quite nice in Warhorde because you don't really need War Bosses for the +1 to hit, because you can just 1 CP get crit 5s sustained, so it kind of like fills that same niche, which is quite cool. So like that's quite a good like little flex point that you have. I've definitely played that kind of style before. But the thing is, this list doesn't have that much stuff. Like it has what, 5 hammer units? Well, like hammer units, like the 2 5-man knobs, which only really kill the points back a lot of the time. And then the Breaker Boys, my Breaker Boys, when I played the Tactical Chili event, they're designed to kill like, you know, a War Dog style thing. I charged both of them into Logan's 2 War Dogs, and I did a combined 9 damage. Good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Having played in the ANZ League 2 Orcs games, one against Breaker Boys and one without, the list without Breaker Boys I definitely thought was better. And it kind of harkens to what you're saying, like it had more stuff.
Yep.
Like I think that's,
Yeah, I think Breaker Boys
not to
being
hate
140 points, like that's like another 2 units for Orcs, right? Like I think it's just better things you could probably be doing, but I understand wanting to have that 3 damage like piece. Like it is quite good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What are we rating this team for its likelihood to succeed?
Ooh.
Podium? Winners? Wooden spoon? Best sport?
Well, they've got some, like, you know, good players on their team. I think they could definitely be podium. I think they're in seed 2 for the seedings for the whole event. So like the second bracket for seedings. And I'm really interested to see how well David can like kind of maybe coach the newer players on this team and kind of really see if he can push those up. Obviously, there's a player or two that probably doesn't need as much coaching. Like Francis McLaughlin's been playing for a long time, so he could probably just do his thing. But it'll be really interesting to see how David can uplift the players in that team and see, like, especially with like pairings practice and stuff. Like it could be definitely an team to watch out for.
Yeah, because that Games Lab team is kind of it's a lot of the players from the Games Lab team, and they're kind of sort of yet to podium, but have been putting up some results. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they can.
When you push David Gaylard onto your team, it definitely helps.
It does. It does.
Yeah, cool. Next year we do Peacock and his Heresy because they're right next to it.
Yep. Yes, let's do that.
Do you have them up, or do you need me to read them out for you?
I've abandoned my monitors because of our internet issues, so
sweet.
You might need to read it. Yeah.
No, I can read it. That's fine. So we got team captain, our king, Kia Smith, which is amazing. I didn't realize that he was the captain, so that was quite cool. And then we have on the team Dan, who doesn't say what his faction is on the thing, which he is playing Eldari.
I believe it's Eldar.
Yeah. So we got Dan Hayden on Eldar, Ezra on Death Guard, Kier on CSM, Kobe on Dark Angels, my king, and Mike on World Eaters. And I have lost my co-host.
No, I'm here. I'm just dealing with tech issues.
We should be like tech issue, isn't it? Or there should be like a tech issue segment on this where we just go over like the issues that we have. Literally before we started streaming today, there was like 10 minutes of Tate trying to get his internet to work.
Sound. Yep.
It's a dream.
All right. Let's see if.
Yeah. So this team comp seems very it's very marine focused. It's Death Guard, Chaos Space Marines, Dark Angels, World Eaters. Like it's very it's all the Chaos factions, right? And then Eldar.
It's just a few Crusade players looking to make a lore friendly 5-pack. No, I have been consulting a little bit on strategy for this one. I've also helped with a bit of list testing for Kobe in particular, and then like Mike a little bit as well. So I'm not gonna. I think I don't know if they'd kind of turn their mind to the all marine bodies thing, but definitely a strategy which I will not reveal.
Of course.
For the pairings with this, yeah,
it's going to be cool. Like from Mike, because I have no understanding of any plans from this team, so I can talk freely, which is quite nice. But to me, it looks like you want to get Eldar into something that Alec can push into specifically, or something that it can blunt heavily if you can get multiple others into good matchups. I know Kobe's been playing quite a bit with the Dark Angels, so I know he's trying to get those reps in for this event, which is really interesting. I think he's playing Gladius Dark Angels, right?
I think he might be Wrath. I don't know what he landed. Last I talked to him was today, where he was like, maybe I pivot system.
It's Gladius. He's a pleb.
It's Gladius. Nice.
He's a pleb.
Yeah.
We won't look at that list.
Yeah. Disgusting. Let's look at Ezra's Death Guard, yeah?
Yeah,
look at that.
Let's do it. Cool. So Ezra's Death Guard, we got Tough Stinky Dudes. Solid, easy name, but decent name. And we got Virulent Victorium, which has a Demon Prince of Nurgle with Revolting Regeneration, Lord of Contagion, and Morty himself. 3 units of 2 Chaos Spawns, 2 units of 3 Death Shroud Terminators, 3 Blight Launcher Drones, 1 Mephitic Blight Hauler, and 2 units of Poxwalkers. So not a whole heap of juice, like of things, but a lot of juice in those things. Like it's all the good things, which means you're not taking as much things, right? Like,
but I think that's still fine in teams, right? Like it's quite chunky stuff. Yeah. And there's some cool like I really like Morty in teams. I think he's got some brings some super interesting sort of flexibility to Death Guard, the fight on death and the reactive and
the reactive shoot, and it's like, oh god, like just
yeah.
I remember playing about, and I was like, oh, Morty, like in my mind I was like, oh, Morty's pretty bad, and then I was like playing against it, and I was like, oh god, this is just so obnoxious to play against. Like, you know, when you play Morty like quite cagey and just sitting back, he's actually becomes this great utility piece, and then once you've lost a couple of things, you know, Death Shroud collapse to flank, Morty just comes out and you're like, oh, now I can't deal with this guy, and it's like he just takes over the game. Kind of similar to like how Magnus plays in Cows and Sons, whereas like, you know, you kind of kill all the things that can kill Magnus, and then Magnus runs over the game.
Yes, unless you run him straight at 15 Deathwing Knights. It's...
If you know, you know. But you know, really, I think it's a really good list. It can go into a lot of things as well, which I really like. Like this list can go into most things and bring back some points. Like it's durable, so it can kind of has that stat checky element as well. But it has a lot of damage. You know, the double Lord of Contagions with the Death Shroud just absolutely rinse things. The Blight Launcher Drones are just great value for what they are. And then Spawn are just good mission play pieces. He basically has like 5 good mission play pieces with 3 units of Spawn and then the 2 units of Poxwalkers. Like he actually has a lot of like mission play with a lot of damage attached to it. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I think it's a very Ezra playstyle list as well. Like he is very good at that kind of sort of more elite high toughness, getting those pieces into positions where they're going to really have an impact.
Yep.
Which is good.
That's an awesome list.
Good to go. What do we think of this team? I reckon, I'm calling it, this team's going to win. I'm adamant.
No bias here whatsoever. It's just because it's all your boys.
Yeah, Alex Cameron's not here this time. Kia's going 5-0.
John T is there though. John T is the Kia Slayer.
John T's washed since having a kid. He's changed.
Can we just, like, for a second here, say how crazy it is that, I couldn't run, congrats John T on having a kid, but is it how crazy it is that he's having a kid, like, going to a tournament, like, less than 2 weeks after having a kid? Like, his wife is an absolute saint.
Yeah, his wife is incredibly understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess she knows what his man needs, and his man needs to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably in their, like, prenup somewhere or something. That he gets like X amount of 40k. Yeah.
Very cool. But yeah, no, I think this team's going to do very well. It's a lot of this is like kind of shows like, excluding Dan Hayden, like this is the growth that David's talking about in this last 2-3 years. Like these are the players that have kind of come up in that growth. You got Ezra, Kia, Kobe, and Mike all kind of in that same kind of vacuum there, which is just in the last 2-3 years, they've really made names for themselves. People know them. People are like, Golden Games lost because of them, all that kind of stuff. So definitely a team to watch out for that regard. And then having Dan as like the pairings guy for the team really puts like a strong head on top of it as well.
Even Kier, I really rate at pairing as well.
I am.
Not to diminish the man that is Dan Hayden, but yeah, like particularly I know bench warmers did a scrim against Cam and Michael's team for one of the more recent teams tournament, or the most recent teams tournament, and I watched the pairings for that, and I thought Kier did exceptionally well pairing against Michael. So
nice. Oh, well done. Yeah, Kira is my my pick to be like one of the best players in New Zealand in the next like coming couple of years, right? Like he has the dedication. He really wants to learn. He's really hungry for it. Like I think he can be the next Johnny Warhammer.
Yeah, Glaze issue continues.
Yeah. I'm in love with my boy. What team are we going over next? Chili Cow?
Gotta be Chili? Yep.
So we've got Chili Cow Cartel. Team captain is Washed Campos. And then we have Charlie Kang on Necrons. What? I actually haven't seen this team comp. Like I know it's my team, like the team that like I technically am a part of. I have not seen any of these lists.
Been involved, yeah.
So yeah.
We've had zero involvement.
Yeah, so we've got Charlie on Necrons, Dylan on Drukari, Jonty on I think it's 12 or 14 Vitrix Ultramarines. We have Joshua Megalushi on Leagues of Votan, which I think is Nerdguard with Double Fort. And then we got Patricio Campos on Adeptus Mechanicus.
Classic.
Yeah.
Question: can you be washed if you were never good to begin with?
It's true. It's very true. Like annoyingly, we had to have him on the other week, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think of this? I'm not gonna. Is Pato? Not Pato. Sorry, Charlie the 40 warrior.
Let's have a look. What has he got? He's awakened, so I'm going to assume so. He's got Ceres, double wardens. Yeah, he will be. Yeah, 2 warriors. Yeah, he's the very stereotypical no wraith double warrior bricks with a with 1 Doomsday Arc, Ghost Arc. It's the list that Jonty ran for the ANZ scrims. It's good. It's really great at blunting armies. It's really good at pushing in some games. Like Jonty was like the 4th highest scorer in the ANZ things because I was able to pair it into good things. Like if it gets its matchups, it really does just push. Like it's one of those kind of lists.
Did you just take credit for Jonty being the 4th? Did you just say Jonty was the 4th highest scorer because of me?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like Jonty's actually washed and really bad.
Yeah.
Yes. Or you blame me for being bad, so you can blame me for being good, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it works both ways, surely. But yeah, this is the stereotypical kind of awakened list that you see at the moment. It's good. It's a good list. Don't get me wrong, but it's very, very basic. I would actually be keen to go over Dylan's list because I think a spectacle list would be interesting to go over.
This is I'm gonna have my glaze moment now. I was gonna mention this when we were talking to David about innovation in the NZ scene. Dylan is like Recon Guard and Spectacle of Spite. Dylan came up with it, both of them, independently before they were like before you saw Nemo running Recon, or before Spectacle made its like debut at WCW.
Yep.
Dylan came up with both of them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I just need someone to win an event with Hexwarp Thrallband now, and I will.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, Dylan, like it's really interesting. Like now that I've seen it like a few times, like once, like when the Guard Codex came out and when the Drukari Codex came out, he played 2 or 3 games with each detachment, and then even when he knew it was bad, like he was playing the covered one, and he was like, this is bad, and he still played it 2 more times just to make sure that he hadn't missed something. You know, and then he did that with every single detachment, and he realized, okay, like Reaper's Wages is probably the best all-rounder, but Cartel has like some interesting places, but and then he landed Spectacle of Spite's actually probably the strongest because this one strat just has such a crazy like dynamic. It's really interesting seeing that kind of process that he has. It's not like, oh, this is the one strong thing, is he really does put the effort in to go through it all.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, do you want to go through his list?
I can't.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was more asking like I can read it, but do you want?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. 60 witches, Lilith.
Yeah, pretty much. It's more just the name. If Jonty scores less than 90 points while on these goddamn Ultra Smurfs, I'm taking away his best player in NZ card and giving it to Pato.
Oof.
This is pretty good.
That is a good list name.
Yeah, it's very strong. So Spectacle Spy Drukari, and we have Lady Malaise, as Dylan says, not Malice, because definitely is Malaise and not Malice. Then we have Lilith, triple Succubus, one with Chrono Shard and one with Morgana's Curse. That is the fights first and the no Overwatch, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
Then we have unit of 10 Cabalites that will get split in a Venom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 Witches that will get split up in some regard. I think Lilith's unit will probably stay as a 10. Then we have 10, and 5, and 10. Oh, why would you do 10, 5, and 10 Hellions? So 25 Hellions. Just a number.
It's a weird number.
Oh, because he obviously, so he probably had 15 and then added another 10, so that's why it's done it in that order. But like,
oh yeah. Or if you duplicate in the app, that always like triggers my yeah, I'm not going to use the word, but triggers me when you duplicate it and it does that. Yeah.
Yep. And then we have 3 units of 3 Reavers, 1 Kronos, 1 Raider, and then 4 Venoms to split up all those Witches and Capitalites. Really, like, it's a good list. Like, this is the list that's really lean into vehicles, so it doesn't do as much into the like 2-up save vehicle list because it doesn't have the Dark Lancers from the Scourge to really push through those. But what it does have is absolute control of phase armies and shooting phase armies that are especially infantry locked shooting armies. It just absolutely shuts them down.
Yeah, for sure. There's some insane stuff it can, and it really punishes mistakes as well. I would say is the like it's a blunter, but if you fuck up, you are like it's all going to custard kind of thing.
Yeah, you are cooked, absolutely cooked.
Yeah,
it's a very cool list. What do we think about Jelly Cartel's full lineup? So we have Necrons is like a really good blunter. We have Patricio probably scoring like 5 every round, even though he's on the most cracked army.
If that. Yeah.
You've got the anchor of Patricio, I guess. And then we've got Josh, who's probably going to get a 15 or a 5. And then we've got Jonty, who's probably going to get like 90 points, let's be real. But to be fair, he hasn't had that many games on this style Ultras, and it's a very different play style. So I wouldn't be surprised if his scores are a little bit on the safer side.
Perhaps, but like it's still cracked.
It's very strong, but it's a different playstyle than what he's used to. So that's kind of what I'm interested in seeing, is if he can adapt to that. Because like he's played so many games with Ultras, but the Victrix Guard do want to play a lot more aggressive and a lot more like with a bit more risk involved because they capitalize so well on it. Whereas Jonty is not a very risk intensive player. Like he likes to be calculated and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how he navigates that. I'm not saying he's not going to do well, but like it's just going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. It's good to see Jonty continuing to challenge himself by he stepped away from Death Guard and he's now playing 18 Victrix Guard. Yeah. Just the man loves playing niche and obscure high skill factions.
Yeah. Not like me on Wrath of the Rock, which is so meta.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you rate this team comp altogether? They're gonna do well. It's like it's a strong team of players. But what do you rate the team comp, and where do you think they're gonna position themselves?
I really like, in terms of army composition, I really like it. I think it's it does something that is really good for 5s really well, and that it's just playing really good things that you can capitalize on pairing them well. But if that opportunity doesn't exist, they're still sort of independently strong, and then you have a really good blunter and one thing spectacle. Well, which actually I guess is a second really good blunter, but you can also missile it and very vulnerable into so I think it's stable with the opportunity to pair aggressively, which I think is like really strong.
I 100% agree. I also like that every list has different things that they're really good into. So if pairings go spectacularly, you could literally get like a really, really high score. Like the Necrons don't want to go into like the World Eaters, but they have other things that they just absolutely get. They get a 15 plus. Drukari has some things they get really hammered by, but then other things that they just absolutely crush through, right? the same with John T. You know, like he doesn't want to go into a lot of like ignores mods, flat 4 damage stuff or lots of high AP damage 2 stuff, right? Like he doesn't want to go into that, but he can push a lot of other things. Josh, you know, doesn't want to go into probably like super high pressure armies, but like he can also control that with the amount of damage that he has. But like they're all good into different things. And you got Patricio that has AdMax that like he has training wheels on.
Patricio getting carried by the low cost.
Yeah, very funny. But yeah, I think probably going to podium. I would be surprised if they didn't podium at this event. That's just, you know, it's basically it's the 4 creators of well, the 3 creators and then the 2 like early adopters of Chili Cow Cartel, right? So it's like it was with Patricio, Charlie, and Josh created Chili Cow Cartel, and then they recruited the rest of us. So it's like it's a pretty strong and well developed team there.
Our founding fathers, yeah, they're still gonna lose to Peacock and his hero, but you know, best of luck.
Is there another team that? Oh, we got Washed Up and Useless, the Kraken adjacent team.
Who have what's that? Michael Finn being a couple of extras.
Yeah, so it's Andrew Bartosh, Ben Clark, Cam Wilkinson, Hayden Corrich, and Michael Taylor. And Michael is the captain. We got Bartosh on Dark Angels, Ben on Chaos Knights, really trying to, you know, push the boundary with being able to shoot things. Then we got Cam on Tau, Hayden on Drukari, and Michael on Leagues of Votan.
Spicy.
Lots of shooting oriented armies. Like Leagues is pretty shooting. Chaos Knights obviously very shooting, and then Tau explicitly only shooting.
Pretty shooting, yeah.
So then Dark Angel is obviously more melee focused, obviously. And then Drukari, it's probably spectacle because that's what Hayden's been playing. So kind of like 3 heavy guns and then 2 heavy melee, which is interesting balance.
It is interesting, yeah. I do think perhaps it's a little bit of people just playing kind of what they're, because I know Michael has just been hobbying up and just wanting to play Votan after WTC, and Cam is a long time Tau enjoyer. So I do wonder if it's like that heavy shooting skew is kind of just what people want to be doing.
Yeah, it's just that it's 5 people playing the list that they want to play. Though Ben wanting, if he wants to play Chaos Knights, then whew, the joy.
Yeah, well, we already knew there was something wrong with Ben. So, like,
yeah. But yeah, no, it's not a bad comp though, to be fair. Like, because you can like decide what's like your weakest link, kind of bust that, and then you can probably try and orchestrate some very good pairings from there, which is pretty interesting.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, Tau and Chaos Knights are good into different things. Leagues of Votan and Tau are good into different things. So you kind of can just like decide, you know, okay, these are good here, cool, that's it. I don't even know if they're going to go that deep or if they're just going to try and, you know, just pair for a bit of fun this weekend. I think that they're here for a good time. Like they're here to have fun.
Yeah. I have seen Cam asking in a couple of group chats about the meta viability really been for this event. So I think it might be a spin the wheel for pairings type vibe.
Yeah, I'll be down for it. They should live stream a bit of it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Still wouldn't be surprised to see these guys podium though. Like it's all good players, and even if it's not the most thought out team comp, it's still not a bad team comp, and exactly. I'm sure the list will still be optimized. Yeah,
the list will still be good, and there's still strong players playing them, right? So that's like part of the biggest thing there. Yeah, and then with that, I think that's pretty much the event, right? Like we'll try and get the winner of Immortal Chili and the winner of Fight Before Christmas, which was Matt Van Wyck, on next week if it works. We might be a double feature. We might do 2 episodes if we can't get them both on the same night. We might try and do like a Tuesday and a Thursday or something, but we'll let you all know how that all goes. And now we're just going to be waiting until this data slate arrives tonight, right? Like,
I believe so. Let me refresh my nope, still nothing.
Still nothing. Yeah, it's usually about 10 p.m. our time is when it comes out. It's just not ideal.
Oh, so in like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not even bad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have no time for dinner. Damn it.
Yeah. And yeah, so we'll probably call it here for Skill Issue, but we might go live again with our first reviews of the thing, if we are feeling it, if we're still around and doing stuff, we might be live. Otherwise, we might just do a couple of posts about it, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming on. It was really cool having David on. It was really cool to hear his thoughts. I really appreciate him taking the time out. Especially mid scrim game, very funny. And yeah, no, very, very cool stuff. Thanks again, Tate, for coming on. You're my favorite guest to have on.
I still gotta track that guy down. We're meant to have a game actually, which is
Oh,
funny.
beautiful.
But yeah, it's good. I'm shocked you keep inviting me back. It's crazy that you're
Yeah.
that interested in my what I have to say every week.
Yeah, always valuable. Always valuable as you're my favorite guest. No, but yeah, thanks for being my co-host as always. Definitely not my guest. For whoever that one guy is that said that, why is it that Tate's always Chris's guest on Skill Issue? Is literally my favorite.
For
Trivia.
For context, this is a guy that is in a random like organized games group chat that I'm in Melbourne that listens to Odyssey 40k and didn't understand that there was a separation of Skill Issue and Odyssey 40k and just kept thinking that Chris can't get any, so invites me on every week.
It's just so good that I only have one friend.
Yeah,
it's very funny. It's not untrue, but it's at least very funny.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh yeah, that's it for this week.